what Myron Gaines is trying to do, okay? The problem, the white manosphere is fairly vanilla, okay? The
Yes.
black manosphere is the problem, okay? The black manosphere is the problem. And what he's trying to do is slowly but surely destroy the black manosphere. That's what he's trying to do with all this race shit that's going on. That's what he's trying to do. But the thing is, it's going to backfire.
Up to 40.
Go ahead. Go ahead, play it.
Now, and my argument to respond to that is this: political correctness, liberalism, and making sure that we are politically correct and don't use certain words could offend people is precisely why we're in the situation that we're in. For decades, we've had to literally tiptoe around saying certain things around certain people, while the other group of people has been able to have impunity and be able to be as racist as they want to be, as violent as they want to be, without any type of consequence. And if you call it out, you're labeled a racist. The reality is this: black people don't want to live around black people. I don't want to live around a bunch of black people. I move to neighborhoods where it's majority white because I know I'm safe. Now, this uncomfortable reality that no one wants to say, so I'll say it for them. Black people commit a lot of crimes. A majority of the violent crime committed in the United States is committed by a small percentage of people, and they tend to be black men. Look, the reality is the reality. People
keep in mind he's an agent.
Don't want to say it, but the political correctness and being nice and not wanting to tell the truth is precisely this problem. And the reason why you're seeing all the support for Metcalf and Shiloh, etc., is because white people have not been able to step up and say what they want to say for a very long time because of what I said before: systemic, organized, where they don't take accountability for their decisions.
Let me bring in Ricky to respond. Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say that I agree that virtue signaling went too far, that political correctness went too far, but we're going from virtue signaling being the norm.
Okay, sorry.
And being praised to now vice signaling being the norm and being praised. It's not just a matter of does this woman have the right to use that word? I believe that she has the right. I disagree with it. But is she now being rewarded with $500,000? Why are we rewarding people for performing vice instead of virtue? This is not healthy. This is destructive to our society. This is destructive to our social fabric, to our culture, to our ability to live with other fellow Americans. It's gross to reward someone for bad behavior. It's one thing to tolerate it, to say that she has the right to do it, but she called an autistic 5-year-old the N-word. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like we're kind of like missing the point in the actual context. You can say that it's part of this bigger meta story of black and white America, but it actually is just like a short little clip, and you don't even know the context of it, and it's actually gross. And if we can't just say that it's gross and bad, then I don't really know where we are.
Well, I think it's interesting to me that Lily Gaddis, you retweeted Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist, by saying he said black people just raised $500,000 for a cold-blooded killer who stabbed a white teenager to death. So I don't want to hear one word about the Shiloh Hendricks fundraiser. Either everyone gets to be tribal or nobody does. Why would you retweet that?
Because I agree with it. Because we have to fight fire with fire. I mean, at some point, why are
nobody does?
Why are Jewish people allowed to be tribal? Why are black people allowed to be tribal? But as soon as white people stand up for themselves, we're labeled a racist. And by the way, you call people racist when you want them to stop talking about things.
No, I called you a racist because you admitted you were racist. Hang on. I called, just to be clear, I called you a racist because you openly, proudly admitted you're a racist. So it wasn't a question.
Okay, what's the big deal? Anyway.
Of exposing you or pointing.
Say that again.
Because you don't want to be called a racist.
Oh, well, whatever.
Pointing my finger or trying to get this out of you. You proudly sat there, bold as brass, and said, yeah, I use the N-word all the time against black people. I'm a racist and I'm proud of it. That's what you did.
Racism is just having a preference. I prefer not to live around black people. I prefer not to live in a country where white people in our country are.
Well, I'm glad you're honest about it.
Disproportionately attacked by black people. Where in my country, you can have an Austin Metcalf where he asks a guy to leave and he gets stabbed in the heart. I prefer that. That's a preference. Now, what a real racist is, in my opinion, is seeing someone as less human. I'm a Christian. I believe everyone's created in God's image. So I don't see anyone as less human. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to have a preference and say, I don't like what happens to be coming out of this community or that community. How is that a bad thing? How is that not just a preference?
Because you've literally made black people sound lesser humans. You don't want to live around them. You want to use the N word in relation to them, a word that you know causes that community unbelievable
Is that my
offense.
fault? Is that my fault? If they have bad behavior, if they want to act in a certain way, if I have to cross the street and be afraid that maybe because of the crime statistics that are very real, by the way, is that my fault or is that their fault for having bad behavior?
That's mind-boggling to me for
As if white people don't commit crimes anyway.
I mean, you guys can
like a motherfucker.
You guys commit genocide all over the world, and you
been doing it for centuries upon centuries. Y'all got a fucking track record that we can track, and we have tracked, man, from slavery to Jim Crow to man.
And black people are violent compared
Man,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Pot calling the kettle black.
Big time. We're talking about bad behavior. You know, we've never lynched you. We've never enslaved you. We've never done any of the deep-seated structural forms of injustice to white people.
Very true. Trust and believe, we're no fan of Mark Lemoy's Hill, but he's right on this.
That white people have done to black people, and yet to claim some kind of moral superiority in the midst of, and again, in the context of
and look at the agent's expression.
Conversation where a white woman is calling a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word, and we're talking about black people's bad behavior. This is absurd. And the idea of fighting fire with fire, again, is a dishonest argument. Just to take us back to the point here, the people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony's campaign believe that he was wrongfully charged, and they're trying to get him legal defense. The people who are defending this.
Just speaking on that real quick, BGS, straight up, his parents need to fire their spokesman now. I don't like that dude. He's not helping his case at all.
It's not helping his case. Number two, I think they should, if the law enforcement and everybody around them is staying quiet, they should stay quiet too. Okay, because they're the one making noise.
That dude is not helping their case at all. He's making them look really bad.
I guess he's out there, and that's what brings in the money. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but the thing is, they should keep their heads down.
Yes,
because women are saying, yes, we know you.
Go ahead, finish.
It's because the hope that whatever reason, in AL's in Texas, right? That whole county is pretty hush hush about what went on. Okay, until the trial's going on. So. And
ever since we highlighted it, it has gotten like silence of the lambs. I'm like not hearing nothing, no radio, nothing coming out about the shit.
Nothing coming out of that county.
And my ear has been to the ground. Trust me.
Yeah. So even in Texas, trust and believe, they talk in Texas, okay? And you have to make a concerted effort for stuff not to leak out. So they're making a concerted effort in that community for this stuff not to leak out. So the thing is, until that trial goes on, comes about, I think for me it's a moot point. So, but the thing is, they're trying to use this as something to a greater effect, which is about race relations,
right?
Especially under Trump. Even but basically Trump is not even about this black-white shit. Okay, Trump is about.
He's not.
Trump is really telling white folks, y'all ain't got time to be racist, right? Because your competition is not that black man over there. Your competition is them Asians and Latin Americans and them Africans and other countries. Okay, that's your competition. Okay, because they ain't the black man that's got to go side by side and work with you. Okay,
right?
It ain't them.
Okay. You call it the 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word, and we want more of it. We approve of it. We support it. These are not the same thing, and it's bonkers to me that we couldn't all stand and say, hey, it is wrong to call a 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word. I mean, Myron, let me just ask you that question. I think this is a yes or no question. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the woman was wrong to do what she did to that child in that park?
I don't approve of that. But what I will say is that it's very important to understand the entire context of what led us to this position. Because again, Metcalf and Hendricks is a microcosm of a much larger problem.
Earlier, it had nothing to do with Metcalf and Hendricks. Yes or no question. Okay?
We're talking about tribalism.
He's just dancing around.
Here's the thing. Black people could be as tribal as they want to be. You have people like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson running around about black power.
How about MAGA? You have a whole political campaign around MAGA, this tribal. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Marry black women and keep it in the hood and all this other stuff. But if white people assemble and say, you know what, white power, we need to keep our nation white, they're immediately ostracized and labeled as supremacists, and they get banned off every single platform. I find that interesting. And matter of fact, you went ahead.
Is that the same thing?
No, actually, it is the same thing. Because here's the problem with black people.
No, it's not.
Hold on, let me finish this. Black people practice the very racism they cry about. You guys can gather together and say Black Lives Matter, Black Power, but if white people get together and say white power and gather together, they're considered white supremacists and they get banned off every single platform. Why is that Jared Taylor and Nick Fuentes are banned off every platform for practicing white nationalism, but black people are allowed to stand every single platform getting interviews on a Breakfast Club? Explain that to me. There's a two-tier situation.
Why would Nick Fuentes go on the Breakfast Club anyway?
Situation here where black people are able to benefit off of being racist, while whites are not. And
black people did not ban Nick Fuentes from talking.
Nope.
Hell no, we didn't. That was not.
In fact, we would love to hear Nick Fuentes talk more because Nick Fuentes says a lot of shit. Nick Fuentes actually tells more on white
people.
White people than he does about black people. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, he does.
But you know, because they want to label one way and send this snake over here to be an agent of chaos and lie about the matter, which is beyond me. But go ahead.
They don't like Nick Fuentes because he is one step from being a freaking Nazi. You know, that's why Nick Fuentes is banned. Okay. That's why
they don't want the likes of his ass out there.
That's why he snatched his passport for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point, BGS, Trump is trying to get these white folks to like shut your ass up. This ain't the time to be for this racist crap. Because he tried to go after, if I'm not mistaken, he tried to go after JD Vance and his wife, and they Nick Fuentes.
Oh yeah, well it was because
they practically told him sit your ass down
with his little mixed ass, man. You with your Mexican mama. Shut up.
His daddy's Mexican.
His daddy.
I didn't know that.
Okay, I thought.
That's where the last name Fuentes comes from. His dad's side. Oh, mom's Italian.
Okay.
It's literally a backlash to this black supremacy has been able to run around unchecked for a long time, and no one has the balls to call it out. Here's the other thing I want to say. Everyone's flipping out over Shiloh Hendricks is saying the N-word.
Hey, can I talk to the point you just made, though?
No, hold on. Nobody flipped out like this when the United States was getting destroyed in 2020 because of black protests destroying every liberal city in America. So I don't want to hear about
it. Was not black protests.
That was not black.
Those white people.
Those are white people. Those are white people out there. They had videotape of that. That was white.
Those are white people. So it wasn't black people.
She made $100,000 because said that.
That was white people in BLM and what they call the Antifa.
That's why you have to be very careful with this cat. Is because he's an op, okay?
Yes.
You can hear it in the shit to how he's trying to spin stuff, and that. The thing is, you know, I mean, I could care less, okay?
Yeah.
He's actually helping me, okay? Because I was in the white mansion. I was a MGTOW, okay, for about a good 2 years, okay? They pushed me out, okay? They pushed me out. The thing is, I said,
I remember.
I said, you know what? I said, y'all don't know it, okay? Y'all don't even know. I said, y'all don't know who you fucking with, okay? Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know my background. We're gonna take this over here to the black stuff. We actually gonna build something better, and we did.
We sure did.
Who cares? They destroyed billions of dollars of structure because someone got killed. Who was a criminal? That's the problem in America. You guys get a privilege that no one else gets to enjoy. You could be racist.
Hold on. Wait a minute, Neymar. Who's the majority in prison right now? Oh, right, black men. What privilege do we have, motherfucker?
Okay. All right. I have to hang on. I'm going to hold it there. We've got another guest joining us. Mark, I'll come back to you to respond to that in a moment. We've been joined now by Jacob Wells. He's the Christian founder of the Give, Send, Go.
Now I'm gonna skip a little bit because this is
I mean it's long, but the thing is that
fair use.
If I'm telling this to the black manosphere, if y'all keep listening to this fucking federal agent, man, I'm done with you. Okay?
Yes.
I don't even like to even hear him. I said, the motherfucker is an op. Okay, he's an op. He's a known federal agent. If you think that he doesn't still work for these people anymore, you got something else coming. Okay? If I was the Fed and I came in the black manosphere and started sowing dissension, y'all be all over my ass.
What that movie Will Smith was in, Gemini? Go watch that movie. You're never out. They'll never leave
out. No, he's the Fed, man.
He's a paid informant, ladies and gentlemen.
Paid informant.
That he is.
And every 5 seconds, he's trying.
Let's go back to the panel.
He's trying to sow race relations. What he really wants to do is he thinks if he divides the white manosphere from the black manosphere, okay, then the black manosphere will collapse. Because he tried to collapse the black manosphere like what is it, a little less than a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, motherfucker, you have no idea what the fuck you doing. You still don't. Still don't. It didn't. I said, shit's not gonna work. Okay.
Fresh and Fit failed, and he's failing. He's just a walking fuck up.
I mean, it didn't. The thing is, it's probably supported by more than just because YouTube. Yeah, it's probably supported by more than just the people that we can see.
Yeah,